Just kidding, I dropped it in a big old pile of laundry. Hey, I'm Cody and welcome back to another Crafts Right video. I don't trust my grip when I'm shooting handheld with my new camera, and the idea of dropping it does kind of freak me out a lot. So I made 3 of these leather wrist straps, one for myself, one for a friend, and one for possibly you, so that I have a more secure handle on my camera when I'm out and about with it. In other words, I'm going to be giving one of these away, so if you'd like to win a wrist strap for yourself and your camera, all you have to do is be subscribed to the channel, like this video, and most importantly, leave a comment down below. I'll announce the winner at the beginning of May. And before you say, Cody, that's what neck straps are for, I'm fully aware, I just don't like them. So, let's get to it. So I chose a really simple design for this based off of the popular Gordy's camera strap. It's pretty simple. All it is really is just a loop, in essence, of leather. A key ring goes in here. This goes over your wrist, and then we'll add a little bead here that slides to tension it so that you can have it tight against your wrist. If your camera drops, it's not going anywhere. So we got our pieces dyed, cut them at a 1/2 inch thick, and this is 6-ounce leather. And like I said earlier, when working with kind of thicker leather, the most important thing you can do when you're doing leather working is getting a really nice edge on it. Especially with something like this where it's going to be up against your skin. But finishing your edges is what's going to set your work apart from complete beginners. It's the one thing that can make you look like you really know what you're doing. If you're just starting out, is getting a really, really nice edge. The main difference is having a nice, smooth, burnished edge versus an unburnished one, where it's frayed and you can see the little bits of leather bits, fuzzies coming off. It's a completely different look. So I'm going to use the electric burnisher and a little bit of water to smooth out those edges before I put some beeswax on there and burnish it further. Now if you don't have one of those, you don't need to worry. They sell these little hand hand burnishers. They work totally fine, you just gotta put a little bit more elbow grease into them. Before I started this channel, I was mainly a leather worker, and I've only been doing woodworking about a year. But the whole purpose behind this channel was to explore all sorts of different crafts. I really don't like the idea that you can only be a woodworker, or you can only be a leather worker, or a metal worker, or a clay worker, or whatever. Crafting is something I think that is inherent in people, and especially if you got the bug for one, you probably have the bug for the other. So that's kind of why I wanted to switch things up and incorporate a little leather work back into it. It's what I cut my teeth on with making, and I want this channel to be about exploring all sorts of disciplines. That's kind of the purpose behind the name Crafts Right, like someone that builds different crafts. And also, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the like button and the bell button. It's totally free, it doesn't cost you a dime. Would mean a lot. So the other really nice thing about burnishing your edges on your leather, it's kind of like the end grain on wood. It's open, so burnishing it, especially with the beeswax, kind of seals in that edge, and it's going to make your piece last a little longer. Okay, so we got the little protector for the mount on the camera. This is the thing that'll stop the key ring from scratching at the side of your camera. It slips on here. The lug goes through here. The next thing to make is the actual tensioner so that you can slide this up on your wrist and get it nice and tight. We'll make that out of wood, and we'll add a little O-ring in there to actually give it some grip, but I think the wood gives it a nice aesthetic. Alright, so we're assembled, everything's done. The adjuster is on there, slides nicely. I think the little wooden nut looks kind of cool. This is all assembled, key rings on there, protectors there. The only thing left to do is put a coat of oil on it so it gets a little smooth and supple, and wrap this part in thread. Now wrapping this part in thread is strictly for aesthetics really. The contact cement here and the rivet, this isn't gonna break or go anywhere. It's mainly just to smooth out this transition where you've got that little doodad hanging out, and it also wraps up the rivet so there's no chance of it scratching your camera either. There she is, all finished. Look at that strap. Bam! Looks good, feels good, but most importantly, it feels really secure when I have it on and I'm walking around with my camera handheld. The neck strap just, I feel, is kind of doofy, and I don't really like the way it feels bouncing around on my chest. With this, I know I have some security that if I bump my camera or I lose my grip, all it's gonna do is that. Not a big deal. So if you like this and you like seeing some of the mixed media, like adding leather into the channel, let me know in the comments below and we'll see you in the next one.